Hi there, customer experience community. This is Dominic. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about customer experience trends for 2023. This is a video we're going to make to see if it ages like fine wine or like fine cheese or like milk. Yeah, we'll see if it spoils or not. I have 7 trends that I think are going to be relevant for 2023. Some of them you'll see are kind of, no-brainers, but we'll see. We'll see. One thing I've learned is never be too sure of anything, because it always comes and bites you in the ass at some point. Before we begin, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, comment if you want to see some special content, and yeah, I would like to know what you think about these customer experience trends. So customer experience trends for 2023. I have, as I said, 7 of them. So number 1 is companies will go from reactive to proactive customer experience. What I'm referring to is that, for example, when you move forward into the future and you think about your business and how it operates and when is the peak season for wherever you're selling is selling, right? Then you will start to look at the data from the previous year and compare it to the data from this year. So what I mean with this is, for example, Black Friday, it's just gone past by, right? Or I don't know, the Christmas rush, or I don't know, whenever you're selling. For us, for example, it's during the summer, spring, summer. That's when most people want to get their customer experiences up to date. So that's just a small parenthesis. But what you're going to do is you're going to look at the data from last year's Black Friday, and you're going to know that, okay, during Black Friday, we have a surge. Okay, so what are the surges going to look like this year? Well, probably it's going to be similar. So what we're going to do is we're going to anticipate the fact that we're going to have a lot of incoming orders for our company, and for our support staff, for example, that needs to take care of these orders. Then we're going to have to hire someone that comes into your team that handles those requests for you. Or right now, what you can do is you can use an automated AI. So an AI, you can automate your business to anticipate these kinds of surges, right? So what you do is you train a bot, an artificial intelligence, to take care of the more repetitive requests, and then the rest of them will get left for your agents, who are going to handle the requests that are not repetitive, rather the requests that are meaningful, and the ones that are personalized, right? Nobody likes to do repetitive tasks. So the best kind of problem is the problem that doesn't exist. So you have to intuit the problem in order to avoid the problem. And you can give more examples here and give predictions for it. So for example, if you know that you have a delivery company that is not doing a good job in a certain area, you can anticipate that, and not necessarily anticipate, but if you know it, you can integrate it within your service to say, hey, we know we have a delivery problem from this area. We know you're from this area. You're writing to us and we know about it. Here's a link where you can go and track your order, or here's a link where you can check the status, right? So yeah, this is how you would handle it, right? So you will just try to be proactive, not reactive. You don't want to just put fires out like a fireman. You'd rather anticipate when you'd have a fire, right? So busy season is one, and then the other is getting rid of repetitive processes, right? Repetitive tasks which can be handled by an automated process. Second customer experience trend for 2023 is going to be automation isn't the future. It's the new normal. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. People have gone past the fear of, oh my God, AI is going to take over our jobs and we're going to have nothing left to do. No. Actually, that's not the case. It's much more sought after right now, because people, around 80% of companies are looking forward to optimizing and automating their business. They're not just doing it for the sake of just being behind the trend, but they are doing it to actually give meaning to their customer experience interactions. Now, automation and the future of automation. So people are divided a little bit still, of course, but the trend is still upwards. So what am I thinking about is, for example, for millennials like myself and Gen Z coming from behind, and also like my kids, probably they will have no problem in interacting with with a bot, right? Neither an audio recognition software nor a text recognition software, like these bots that you're getting more and more familiar with, right? So these demographics of people that I've mentioned, Gen Z and millennials, will have no problem, and they like interacting with automation, with automated processes, because we've kind of grown apart from one another and we don't want to interact with one another. Well, it is what it is, right? So we're not judging it as if it is right or wrong. It's kind of wrong. But yeah, it is what it is, right? We don't want to interact with other people. We'd much rather keep interaction to a minimum and figure things out ourselves. If it's easy. If it's complicated, then yes, we do want to talk to someone, obviously. Now, a different demographic, like the boomers and the Gen X, they will want more classical type of interactions, right? They will still want to have a phone. They'll still want to email, and it's fine. We all want that, but you're much more prone to not necessarily want to interact with a bot, rather, you know, directly with a human. And there's nothing wrong with that either. I think it's awesome. So automation is definitely not somewhere far in the future. It's here. It's happening. We are much rather embracing it rather than opposing it, because we're just fighting a tidal wave. It's here. It's getting better. It's not taking our jobs away. Humans always evolve to do something else. And there's also another thing which I will treat in the next point about automation. Customer experience trend number 3. This is going to be customer service jobs will go away and customer experience jobs will rise. So the idea behind this one is, you know, I was just talking to my team, just having a call, like the weekly meetings that we do. And we realized that we're all coming from a customer service role. Like I had a customer service role when I was starting out. I mean, this was, I don't know, when I was 20 or 21, something like that. So that means like 16 years ago. Anyways, that's beside the point. But I started from there, and most of my team all started from this customer service role. And what the idea behind it is, like, you do this as a transitional role. You don't necessarily plan to, oh man, let's do a customer service representative for the rest of our lives. There is nothing wrong with it. What I'm trying to say is 16 years ago, I had no idea I was going to evolve into this customer experience agency that I run right now. But I do. And most of the people that I work with have different professions and are working into a more advanced roles. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, you know how being a waiter is a transition job, right? You do it for a while, then you switch to something else. You do see occasionally advanced age waiters, but that's not the norm. The norm is usually they're young, and you know, that's one of the first jobs that you get, and then you evolve to something else. I'm not judging or anything. I'm just an observation. And I actually love restaurants where the waiter is older, because they know their shit, and there's zero chances of the order getting screwed up. And I always try to be generous with that. So customer service agents are stuck in between two sides, let's say two rocks, let's call them, which are slowly squishing the customer service representative. One side is the customer, who is sometimes rude. They're not very polite. And people are people. They just, you know, they have different things that they're trying to solve, and they're taking their problems out on someone else who doesn't deserve it. So, but that weighs you down as a customer service representative and doesn't make you want to stick. Then there's, on the other side of the rock, is management. Management is always pushing like, hey, do good, be proactive, be efficient, don't lose customers, right? So you have these two forces who are squishing you down as a customer service representative, and you don't like it. I mean, I didn't, and nobody does for that matter. Why would you? So you don't want that kind of pressure, and you're much prone to necessarily want to do something else. Now, because nobody likes to do repetitive tasks, this is where this ties in with the previous CX trend for automation, right? Because we have all this amazing bots and all this machine learning and artificial intelligence and deep learning, that what we do is we take information and we create content to solve repetitive tasks. We don't necessarily want to spend time answering, how do I change my password? Where's my order? How do I do da-da-da thing, which always has the same kind of answer, right? We just give them to the machines, and machines take care of it. Now, customer experience roles, however, these will be up on the high rise. These are trending, and these will become much sought after job positions. Why? It's because right now the job becomes a lot more fun, and the repetitive tasks are being taken care of the machines, but now the tasks that require skill and analytical analysis are being delegated to humans, and humans like to solve problems. That's our nature, right? We love a good problem that we can solve. But this is why I think it's going to be become more enjoyable, because you're going to be required to do a job that you're much more prone to enjoy. And not only that, but there's also new types of jobs that are surfacing. Like, we're going to see bot flow designer, content writer for bot flows, stuff like that, like automation expert, customer conversation expert, a bot conversation expert, stuff like that is going to pop up. Now, next one will be number 4. This is going to be customer expectations will keep increasing post-pandemic. Now, during the pandemic, we've seen that it is essential to have someone to communicate if you want something. So it put us all in our homes, and it made us just very dependent on technology. So we needed to still perform our functions. So essentially what we did is we did everything online. And we realized how important it is to actually be mindful of how you interact with brands. So if somebody makes it hard for you to order from them, or it gives you a bad experience to interacting with them, you're immediately going to look for an alternative, and you're going to find someone else to help you with that. You know, I love the free market, because if you don't like something, you just look for an alternative and you find it immediately, and people are going to choose the company that provides them with the simplest and easiest experience for them. Of course, price is important, obviously, but some people prefer to pay a higher price for less friction, for easier to use. So you always take into account when you want to spend your money, if you want to go down the route of, okay, this is more complicated, but it's more in my price range, or do I pay more for this, which is more premium and it will give me a better product or a better service, actually, better service. It's much like, I don't know, YouTube Premium. Nobody wants to pay for YouTube. It's like been there from the start, and no ads were there. Now there are ads, and I'm going to pay for it in the end, because I'm going to get better services. I'm going to not see ads anymore, which is why not? So customers' expectations will keep increasing post-pandemic. So our expectations of brands delivering good customer experiences to us has increased during the pandemic, and we saw how important that was. So now what we do is we choose the companies that we work with based on the experiences that they give us. So I like the fact that right now I can just go over and buy from someone else if I don't like it. And statistically, I think 76% of customers say that they have 2 negative consecutive experiences with a brand, they will switch to someone else. So that's like 3/4. That's not good, man. You don't want to lower standards for people. You want to increase them. And meaningful experiences is the way to go. And especially with the newer demographic like myself, millennial and Gen Z, we like personal. We like things that are tailored to us. We like it. It's fun. This actually leads into customer experience trend number 5, which is going to be customers will expect you to be there for them wherever they are. What this means is, once we start realizing that we have an increased appetite for the experiences that a company gives us, we are going to want them to be present wherever we are present. If I'm on Facebook and I would like to get in touch with, I don't know, somebody that I'm working with, for example, a brand that I bought socks from, I want them to be on Facebook, and I want them to write a message to them and say, hey, I need your help. And I would expect them to be there for me to actually, you know, get back to me. If I'm on Twitter, I want to do the same. If I'm on WhatsApp and I want to interact with the company that I work with on WhatsApp, I should have a way to reach out on WhatsApp. So omnichannel is the way to go, and it's no surprise that we need brands to be more present for us. So I am also very happy about this, because this makes things a lot more meaningful and a lot more tailored to where people are. So about customers will expect you to be there for them. Yeah, definitely the case. So customers will expect you to be in their social media channel of choice, or in the channel that they so choose, right? So some people will be on social media, some people will be on email, some people will be on phone, some people will be on your website. So you have to be there to intuit that and to allow them to reach out to you however they want, because why not? We are living in the world, a digital world, where everything should be available. Okay, now, customer experience trend number 6. Personalization is the key to move forward. So we want personalized customer experiences. Things, the more personal they are, the more we love them. Now, think about it. Personalized customer experience means that you need to have a bird's eye view of whoever your customer is, right? So myself, for example, if I reach out to someone, I would like them to get back to me in the language that I choose, right? If I'm writing to them in English, I want it to get back to me in English. If I'm writing to them in German, I'd like them to get back to me in German. Now, personalization means that if I'm reaching out to you and you have your, let's say, sandboxed customer service system, and you don't know anything about me, I'm just like a new guy that nobody saw, nobody knows anything about, the agent's going to start asking me stuff which I have already maybe communicated to another agent, right? So I don't want to repeat myself. So I want it to be personal. What this means is that you have to have your database connected to your customer service system. So you know, oh, it's Dominic. Oh, he's been a client since 2017. And and oh wow, he's actually spending a lot of money with us. He's a VIP, so I should maybe, you know, create a business rule and say if VIP customers write, then we should, you know, bump the priority on this guy. So ideally, you need to know more about your customers than you would have expected, I don't know, like even 3 years ago. You need a 360 view of who your customers are. So language personalization definitely needs to happen in whatever language that you're choosing and that you want, and the product is present there. And not just that, right? If you don't have a customer experience agent that speaks, I don't know, whatever language, you have AIs and that can translate the information automatically. You know the process, you have it in English, so they can answer the customer in whichever language, because you can just create translations for these customers in whatever language that you're using. So why not make it personal? Not only that, but connect all the systems that have customer information, connect them. Make sure that you have a very secure connection so you don't lose the data and you don't leak it. So yeah, obviously there are precautions which need to be taken care of with privacy, but that is something that you have to take into account. Like when you choose whatever partner, whoever you're working with, you have to make sure that they are trustworthy and they can fill the safety and privacy requirements that you have. Now, customer experience trend number 7, transform from a cost center to a revenue center. Many companies still think of customer service system and the customer support team as a cost center, which of course it costs money to, and you know, you have to have budgets to have a customer support team and a customer service system running. But think about how that impacts your business, because you only see, oh, I spend this much and I don't make this much, because you only look at sales and you only look at customer service like two different entities. Oh, this is making me this much and it cost me this much, and this is just costing me. Well, no, because these people are the ones that are actually keeping your customers with you. So whatever money that you have as a monthly revenue, like an ARR and the MRR, so annual recurring revenue, and a monthly recurring revenue, you have it from the customer support system. So that is something that is not so easily quantifiable, but it definitely is quantifiable if you make let's say a marriage of the customer support team, customer success team, and sales team. So if you bring these all together, it's not easy. It's not something that I can explain right now without necessarily jumping into a few graphics to actually show you. By the way, this is going to be a course that I'm going to be working on next year. So if you marry these three departments and see exactly how they work in sync, then you'll be able to derive very meaningful data from there and see that what you consider a cost center will actually be a revenue center as well. So there are workarounds and ways to see this information come together. Now, as I said, it's not necessarily like a super easy one, but I see it as a fact that more and more companies will see that customer support team is not just a cost center, and it will become a revenue center as well, not just a cost center. You won't see it as a cost center because you'll be able to have the right metrics to look at to see how much business is actually keeping in-house and preventing churn, right? So churn, like people just running away from you and going to a competitor. So if you keep that into consideration, the people that support your clients are keeping your clients with you, and the sales team is bringing in new business or is upselling or cross-selling, which is a different thing, which obviously takes a very important part as well. I'm just a little bit biased towards the customer service part, because obviously a lot of the work that we do is in the customer service, but now we're bringing it together with sales, and yeah, it's going to make a lot of sense when you look at it holistically, not just like canned departments that have nothing to do with one another. Anyways, this has been my thoughts on the customer experience trends that I see for 2023. Now, this is going to be an experiment. I am going to watch this video again in sometime 2023 and see how it aged. So I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.